Welcome to another Mint Tour Truck Tuesday here at TaylorMade. This is the Kingdom. I'm Chris Trott. For those of you new to the channel, hit subscribe, put that bell notification on. Today we're going to talk about yardage gapping. A lot of you have been asking how far I hit my clubs. I know we've seen a lot over the summer with fitting and what you get into, but this is a good little routine to check your yardages. Into the breeze a little bit today. A lot of you will have access to launch monitors, driving ranges with monitors, maybe even today I'm testing out a full swing. Received this a few weeks ago. Love trying these things out. I'm going to fire this down 10 feet behind, stick with the same target line. If you are going to work through your yardages, checking it's essential. Being pin high is essential. Knowing how far your clubs go is essential. But also these things will tell you a lot more, albeit today we're just going to get into what I look at when it comes for checking my gapping and how I do that. First things first, you've got to get your monitor set up. It's got to be directly behind the golf ball. Already I'm going to take a little tweak on that, but internally with the full swing you're going to be able to see that you can set the target line and you have to set the club that you're using. Then you've got to get it in between those wickets that you can see in the screen now and line yourself up. I'm going to stick with the same target. That's important when it comes to doing this type of drill. Reason being, I don't want to deviate my monitor, but also my alignment stick. If you're working on stuff, which I have been, although I've not hit any today, you're catching me fresh. I'm just working a bit on my arm structure in the backswing. Maybe that's another video, it's not for today, but I am using a training device. But I want this session to count. I want it to be different. I want to get something out of it. So I'm actually going to start with my 56, not my 60. I don't hit many full shots of my 60. I don't like it being the first club I hit in every session. Reason being, quite often you can see it here, hopefully. This is an old divot that's been filled in. It can be a bit sandy on the ranges. If you take a 60, I always think you've got to hit it perfect. So it's not very confidence inducing. You must try and use the ball you play. If not, all these monitors that are out there, they can normalize, but they are sensitive to the golf ball that you play. So try to use the ball that you hit as well as you go through this test. And you want to look at the whole picture, not just individually. Be honest with yourself, but look at the whole picture. Early on in the range session, but I hit that nice and solid. I'm okay with you hitting more and more of these if you want to. Now I've scraped some tiles and I've got them down there so I can see it on my monitor. I'm looking at it here in hand. 94 on the carry, that's the actual you can normalize feature, which means you're going to put yourself without this wind, and that goes straight to 100. I would say for my 56, a nice full 100-yard shot, that's about right. Usually I feel like I can pump it a little bit further if needs be. So let's just look at our range and see if I can get there. Try and hit this one a bit harder. So be honest with yourself, underneath that, it's definitely going to be higher. It'll be a similar yardage. 86 underneath it, which is right. 91. Drag another. Be honest. Try not to hit too many. This is something you want to work through. You want to get that number. Almost identical to the first one. 91 again. So these are going 90 as I hit them harder. If I look at the normalized feature, 95. It's 100 on the top end, it's 95. That's the one thing you're going to notice as you work through this. You're probably going to hit it shorter than what you think. You'd be amazed at how many times we as golfers, we overjudge what we do. We think we hit it further. This is going to be eye-opening, I think, to a lot of you. Certainly maybe to me. I haven't gone through this process, like I say, in a while. But how far you hit these clubs may not be what you think. I've dropped down now to a 9. Nice golf shot. Smooth swing. Wouldn't say I blasted it. 132. I can deal with that. That's on normalized. 127 was the actual. Two great golf shots. Very happy with them. Clean the club in between. Get the dirt off the grooves. 135. Almost landed on top of one another. More like what I'd expect that to be. That's normalized, remember? No breeze, no wind. Move clubs, change. I've gone down 2 again. 7 iron. Fair hit. 162 normalized, that'd be what I'd expect for that. .160. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to that sand iron. I wasn't 100% in the way that came out. We're getting a nice gapping. And just take a look at this as you look at the dispersion. It'll show you, and it'll give you that heat map, the little dots as to where everything has gone. And then on this one, on the all shots bar, it'll start to build you a picture as the averages of your golf shots. I actually think, and I can remove a shot if I want to, I think I am actually going to delete this 91 because I think it was a poor representation. Go back, 98 now, normalized off 92. Let's go back and now have a look as we add back in the sand iron and just get yourself in a place that you're comfortable. Again, if I had 110, I'd have to rip this. I still think 100's where I'm at. Lesson for you though, as you saw, if I hit the sand iron hard, it just goes up and not forward. Good golf shot, not whacking it too hard. I think that's gonna be 100, landed a bit further maybe, normalized 99. So now we're where I expect that club to be. You've scratched that itch, it's okay to do that. Remember, you're trying to paint your picture. You've got to be comfortable with it. Drop down, 7 iron goes to 5 iron. This is the P7 MC, has this thinner top line on it. I switch actually into the 770 as it comes to the 4 and the 3 because I want a bit more heat out of it. Again, when we look at the full picture, that hopefully will make sense. Good strike, little cutty. Don't hate it. I think the number's going to be fair. You get a feel now off your spin rate if you want to look at that, 5.2. I'm looking back there for my normalized number, 194 carry, 203 total. I'd say that's about right. Again, just looking at how your swing's going. And you can see here, 2.7 on the swing path left. Whenever you get a number like that, that means it was a little out and across. Good judgment to give you feedback, right? And there's a good golf shot. Made the front of the green as we look out there, 193. So you get a feel now like that 195 normalized carry number is about where I want it to be. With my 3 iron, sometimes I'll peg it. So for this test, I would do that just to see if I get a gain. As I break down into these numbers, I'm getting 230 total, 210 carry. I'd say that's not far off. Into today's breeze, 197. Again, it's not far off. Spin rate 4,300 on that one. Let's see if I can just jump on one a little bit now. Pulled it, but it drew, which is what I wanted. And it jumped to 216, 233. So it's about where it's at today. I wouldn't say I'm going to change that too much. And based on it being a 3-bat, I'm not overly concerned. So you've gone up the scale then on your odds. Now you got the choice to lay one down with your 3-wood, which mine, as we've seen before on this channel, this is a 3HL, so a high launch in the Stealth 2. I use it as a 3-wood because I've actually bent it strong. So taking some loft off of this club. This is off a peg as well. You notice I'm also looking at the landing zone. Be interesting to see the yardage that one gives me. Good. In the wheelhouse off the deck, I like it. Let's see if I can really cut one up now and just take some yardage off this. First club I've really tried to shape. Just to make sure, and again, that's where the monitors are brilliant, make sure you can hit it to a yardage that you don't want it to go. So there's 10 yards off it. Good. See if I can move it the other way. See why I like this 3-wood. I mean, that's gone hunting. 267 jumped up. The range on that, 241. And these are all carry. Let's change them to total because I was hitting different shapes. Look, you got 272 all the way down to 240. 260 normalized when you went to 261, you see. Good view of what you're trying to do here. Now let's switch to driver. We're gonna have to make a couple of adjustments. So I'm going street lamp out there as always, those of you who follow along. I'm not adjusting you guys. Apologies about that. We're only going to hit a couple with the driver, maybe 3. 6.5 ball speed, 273 carry, 299 total, that's normalized. Only lost 3, 2600 is good. Look at the path as well, good. Little cutty, but don't hate it. 6.7, that might be all I got in the tank today. 301, low launch because it was a little squeezy, you can see. So let's go back to regular target. So then I press you to work back through the set then. You've built all the way up to driver, you've got that number. If you're hitting it good, remember, this is a practice session, but you want your yardages out of it. So you don't need to be pounding ball after ball. You're really trying to get some information out of this that you can use on the golf course. So set yourself back up, in with the 4 iron, and now go back down. And the reason I do it this way is because I don't just want to build all the way up to driver and then be done. I want a true reflection of my wedges. Just how you saw I went back to the 56 to hit another one again. Same deal with the 4 iron now, coming back down the chain, back to that same target. Good hit. 198 normalized. 6 iron. .73. But you can see here we're getting a nice picture. We've got 128, 134, bit of a gap into the 8. Might have to look at my lie and loft with my 9. That could be a good viewpoint for me. I'm going to check that based off of what I'm seeing so far. You have it. I think that proves it. 9 iron was a little weak. Had to strengthen it just a fraction in order to change that yardage. And now as we look at the numbers and we go into that all shot screen, you know now that that 9 iron is going to increase a little bit the more shots you hit. Obviously you can hit more with the 8 to maybe check that number, but it's a fantastic exercise to work through your yardages and also to work through your dispersion and to see where clubs are. I checked the lie angles on that 6 and 4, they were fine. 9, like I say, was the only club that highlighted it was slightly off, and that's even for my set of golf clubs. So imagine the benefits you can get for your own game if you have a device like this, if you go through an exercise like that, but try to do it if you can, at least bi-weekly. The more you keep on top of these numbers, the more you keep on top of your loft and lies, and the more you keep on top of your feels, not just on when you're hitting it good, but also days when you're not hitting it great, and you're gonna get that range of yardages out of your club so you have a good feel and a good gapping. If this is something you're into, I'll put a link in the bio to the launch monitor I used today below. You can check that out. Also, there's a link in there to all of my channels. Be sure to follow along. That right there is how I check my gapping. It's crucial. Now I can confidently tell you that normalized or non-normalized, I know how far something's going to go and get a feel for how much wind can impact it, how much shot can impact it, but a true look at my numbers and where my game's at. Hit subscribe, hit follow, and we'll see you next Tour Truck Tuesday.